Welcome back, guys. Am I the a-hole for suggesting my teacher host my son's party at her house? Throw away and fake names. I realize this was probably very petty, but I want to see if I am justified or just an asshole and owe an apology. My son Sam had his 9th birthday today, but we're having the actual party tomorrow night, which is basically just a sleepover at our apartment with 2 friends. One is in his class and the other in a different one. Before my son even got home from the bus, I got a call from his teacher, Lorna, requesting that the party involve all the students in the class. She learned about it because it came up as the class wished him a happy birthday. I at first politely refused, saying that's not reasonable, but she insisted to make sure nobody was left out. I respond by saying that she has no say in who is at my home ever, and that even if she did, my apartment simply cannot accommodate 32 kids and guardians. She says that because other students are involved, she does, and that I should have the party somewhere that can allow all students. I was ready to either hang up or tell her off, but what she said at the end sparked an idea. I tell her, okay, what's your address? And when she asks why, I told that since you think you have a say and you want all your students to be a part, we might as well have the party have her house, and request her address again. There's a pause before she says that's not exactly what she meant, and I tell her that no, she wants everyone to attend, so she should be the one to make it work. Before hanging up. This is where I probably became the asshole. Out of curiosity, I easily found her address and email her. How does this email sound, with an excerpt to the group email chain saying that Lorna has offered to host Sam's birthday party at her home and to come after school to X address. I was not planning on actually sending that to anyone else but her. I just wanted to prove the point and felt I was being sarcastic, but I know tone is hard online. She responded to not send it and to do whatever I want for the birthday. She does not care anymore. When I vented to my husband about it, he called me unhinged, but he agreed with my point. I'll admit, I have a bit of a habit going overboard when I feel wronged and probably went nuts, but I can't believe the audacity of this lady. Our next Reddit post. AITA for telling my dad he chose between me and his fiancée when he prioritized her surgery over mine. I, 17 female, have had a rocky relationship with my dad. My parents married after I was born, hoping to provide a stable family for me, but they divorced when I was 11 after my dad went to rehab. Things only worsened from there. During rehab, he met his current fiancée, and they later had a kid, 6 female. Since then, my dad has been mostly absent from my life whenever I have important events. He either has an excuse or doesn't show. I'd estimate he's been present for less than half of my events since their divorce. A few years ago, I was diagnosed with scoliosis. Initially, surgery wasn't needed. However, my condition got worse. I was finally scheduled for surgery on 11/20 of this year. I told my dad about it months ago, expressing how much I needed his support this time. He promised he'd be there. But later, he texted to say he'd planned a vacation that would keep him away until mid-December, just as my recovery period would be ending. It broke my heart, but I accepted it. Then 2 hurricanes hit his vacation spot. He told me he'd make my surgery. I felt a glimmer of hope. But then, just a week before my surgery, he texted again saying his fiancée's lung cancer surgery had been scheduled for the same day, a few hours before mine, at a hospital 30 minutes away. He said he might not make it to my surgery, but with him, might not usually means won't. He added that this wasn't about who he loved more. That message shattered me. I realized that no matter how much I hoped, he might never give me the attention support I needed. I broke down on my kitchen floor that day. After sitting with my feelings, I texted him to tell him how deeply his actions hurt me. I said it wasn't only about love but about showing care, that he'd given me hope only to let me down again. I questioned if his fiancée's surgery had really been scheduled last minute, or if he had known earlier but hadn't told me. I asked him to show he was my dad through his actions, not just his words. He responded, insisting the surgery was only scheduled the day he'd told me. But because he's lied in the past to save face, I reached out to someone who might know the truth. I then sent a follow-up message clarifying that my frustration wasn't with his fiancée, it was with his ongoing absence, lack of support. I said that even if his reasons were genuine, he could have at least shown some empathy. I told him I hoped he'd be a better father for my half-sister than he has been for me. In a final message, I made it clear that I was done putting in all the effort to maintain our relationship on my own. I told him that if he wanted to be my dad, I would gladly be his daughter, but if he chose not to, I would be fine with that too. He hasn't responded. Honestly, I'd prefer he sit with what I've said. For once, I hope he really thinks about his actions, the impact they've had on me. Our next Reddit post. AITA for leaving the room after my BF surprised me. My 23 female BF 26 male had been away for almost a month and was supposed to return this morning from his trip, but told me that in the last minute he decided that he wanted to stay one more day at his sister's place. I had been waiting excitedly for an entire month just to see him, made some decorations and wore his favorite clothes, ordered his favorite snacks as seasetter, and was very disappointed and upset when he changed his plan last minute. He had no particular reason to want to stay one extra day, so that made me even more upset. The thing is, he has surprised me in the past by showing up earlier than he was supposed to, so I asked him at least 5 times whether he's lying to me because he wants to surprise me. Because if he is, I would be really upset to be disappointed only to realize that it is not real and do not want to go through a set of negative emotions for no reason. He said he is being genuine and even sent me screenshot of the canceled ticket. So I let it go and took down the decor, changed, ate some of the snacks and cried myself to sleep. But guess what happens? He shows up on the day he was supposed to. I was obviously happy to see him but not as enthusiastic as I should have been. He asked me why I was being somewhat dry and distant, so I explained that I had told him very clearly that I did not want to feel disappointed for no reason, and him telling me intricate lies that made me feel really sad, only to show up anyways made me feel like he did not value my feelings. He got mad and said I was being unreasonable because everyone likes surprises. I told him that while usually I do too, this absolutely did not feel like a surprise, and left the room and went to my friend's room. I got a bunch of text messages from him saying I am being unreasonable and that I am overreacting. My friend also thinks that maybe I am being a bit unreasonable to leave him alone when I haven't seen him in so long, so now I feel a little guilty for walking out AITA. Edit, holy moly, I did not expect this to blow up this much. I read through almost all your comments, and if I'm being honest, I felt a little defensive of him. But your comments overwhelmingly convinced me that I should value my feelings more than I have so far. I also realized this is not the first time he hasn't valued my feelings. I appreciate all of your comments, and I had a long talk with him about this and other times as well where my boundaries were not respected at all. And he absolutely did not get it. He half-heartedly apologized but took almost no accountability, and I think this is the last straw, honestly. I'm done putting in all the effort, and I will break up with him soon. It'll be hard because I really thought this one actually cared, LOL. But yeah, I think I need to be single for a while now. Thank you so much again. If you enjoy this video, hit that like and subscribe button.